Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. We're glad you all could be with us. Also, those tuning in, their online affiliates around the world, we're glad you all could be with us as well. We're excited to welcome Daryl Marston to our program today. Many people know him as the co-lead investigator, of course, from the popular GhostHunters series. He's also an individual, though, who's been able to build his own brand as well, including with his own podcast. We'll talk to Daryl not only about his own journey when it comes to the paranormal, but also what it's been like for him to connect with people literally around the world. He's also going to be a part of some events that are taking place this year. We'll let you know how to find out about those. But, Daryl, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Good. I'm glad to be here. I'm very honored to be on your show.
The pleasure's definitely all mine. Well, you were part, as I mentioned, Daryl, of a very popular, franchise. However, you've been able to do some amazing work on your own. I want to talk about this journey for you, though. What has it been like for you to see the popularity of GhostHunters and how literally you guys have found this worldwide audience?
The popularity, it's mind-blowing. I mean, being brought into basically the biggest paranormal show ever, and the one that started it all from back in the early 2000s. And the popularity of it is crazy because, I mean, I get people from France, Italy, all over the world who contact me who watch the show, and it's just amazing. South America, the Middle East, and it's insane to see the popularity of GhostHunters and how far it extends. It really is.
Yeah. Is the paranormal something that has always been of interest for you? To kind of take us into that journey for you, how this all began for you, Daryl.
No, actually, I mean, it's always been an interest, but I really didn't get into this until probably around 2005 by complete accident. I had no interest in being an investigator. Actually long story short, I got invited to a local paranormal event around Halloween, like a lot of people do. And I went. It was like a 2-hour, investigation, and didn't know what to expect. And I actually saw a half-body apparition, my first time ever on my first investigation, and I was hooked. After that, I pursued it and just doing local stuff. I never thought I'd ever be on TV or anything, and
right.
It just grew over the years. And the popularity grew of it, and it's just something that became a passion of mine.
I think, the search for answers, I think we as human beings are such curious creatures anyway. Does it kind of feed into that natural curiosity that you have?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're all kind of like, we have that question, about life after death and what happens to us and where do we go? Is there anything? And there's so many people who have these stories. Like everybody has some kind of paranormal story, and it's just something that kind of feeds into the allure of it all, and it's something I think we all in the back of our minds we have that question. Hey, what happens? What is a ghost? What is an entity or whatever? And some of us just explore that more than others. And some of us have the ability to go out there and investigate these locations and get some really great evidence, and that just that fuels the fire, and you just keep going.
And I think, too, again, it's become so much more than just a show. It really is a movement. As I mentioned, there's some events coming up this year that you're going to be a part of. I want to talk about, though, I mean, there's so many conversations that take place, as you know, Daryl, when it comes to discussing paranormal activity and, and, of course, for one thing, the fear that some people have of the unknown. Do you think the show and also your work has been a way to kind of open up conversations about things that may not be easy to talk about?
Absolutely. I mean, when I look back 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, it was kind of taboo talking about the paranormal. A lot of people kind of shied away from it. Today, when I go to these events or I'm out on the street and somebody runs into me who knows who I am, everybody has a paranormal story. It's fun. It's fun to watch. It's fun to listen to. But everybody has them, man. And I love the fact that people are more open about it these days. And I love the fact that people I actually really love the fact that there are scientists and people who are actually looking more into it, which is really nice because they've reached out to us on the show to do actual experiments for them with their equipment. And that right there, it just shows, I mean, right now, definitely paranormal is a pseudoscience, but it shows that bridging, where it's starting to they're trying to move it into a science. And that's right there, just goes to show people are taking it more seriously. Now, I mean, you have people who call themselves ghost hunters or paranormal investigators. It's two different genres, in my opinion. Yeah, the show is called Ghost Hunters, but really the people on the show, including myself, we're all investigators, where we actually are trying to find out more about this, what causes a haunting, and what causes an entity, why, and not just go find a ghost. We try to look past that and figure out why it's happening.
Right, and I think that is, again, the connection that so many people feel. And I want to go to something that you said almost in passing that I think it bears kind of drilling down on a little bit. Daryl, that you mentioned people recognizing you. I mean, what has that been like for you to get used to, people recognizing you and wanting to stop you and have these conversations with you?
It's humbling. It really is. I try to stay in touch with the public, especially through social media and everything, Instagram and Facebook. And, people reach out to me every day, and I try to answer everybody's questions. But when you're out in public, like, say, at an airport or just a restaurant or just walking into your local Walgreens and someone recognizes you, it's humbling. And you kind of have to sit back and say, that's pretty cool, people know who you are. It's fun. It really is. It's fun to go to these events that I do where I go out and meet the public, do meet and greets, and investigate with them, because you don't realize that sometimes you forget you're on TV, and you kind of have to you kind of have to put yourself you got to humble yourself for one thing, and just like I'm just a regular guy. And people, they see that, they see the guy on TV, but then when they meet me, they're like, oh, he's just like the guy who lives next door, which I am, and that's the part that's really cool about it. I love, going out there and meeting these people. They're amazing. They're the ones who make this all worthwhile.
Well, I think that is the cool thing. I want to say, for those who are just tuning in, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome Daryl Marston to our program today. Many people know Daryl is one of the investigators, of course, as part of the Ghost Hunters franchise, but also an individual who's been able to do his own work along the way. Before we talk about the upcoming events that you're going to be a part of, Daryl, I want to talk about the podcast, because I love the fact that you're able to create your own content and build your own platform that way. Did that seem like a natural progression for you to begin your own platform where you could connect with your audience there too?
Yeah, it's something I really wanted to get into about 5 years ago. I started doing my own podcast and live streams, and it grew. I mean, it took a while, don't get me wrong, and I've been on a bunch of different platforms, like, from YouTube to just regular, podcasting style. And I was lucky enough to meet some guys who started a company called Paranormal Warehouse. And now I'm co-owner of Paranormal Warehouse, which is the largest paranormal live streaming network in the world with over 500,000 followers. And from that, we were able to launch other shows, bring other shows on who do their own live streams, basically. And it's really neat to watch, and it's really cool to see how fast it's growing and the popularity of it. And we've even gotten into producing our own show, or like our own TV shows, which we're producing one now called Epic Haunts. Wow. And I'm an executive producer on the show, and we have a couple pilots out already that are being looked at. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man, to watch that progression. And I'm having a great time doing it, man. It's a passion of mine, especially getting on the other side of the camera now is really fun, because I've always been in front of the camera. Now I'm getting to do both, and I'm really liking that part of it, to be honest with you. I'm liking the producing side of it as well.
Yeah. So I mentioned the events that are coming up. I mean, first of all, how does that feel to be able to get out and to meet with people and to be able to engage with them this year and to do what you love?
Yeah. Yeah, it's great, man. It's great getting out on the road and traveling, and going to these events around the country. I am very fortunate enough to have people who want to come out and meet with me and investigate with me. And I got some really cool ones in Texas coming up, in Pennsylvania. Like April 23rd, I'll be in at Riser Hospital in Bonham, Texas, which I'm really looking forward to because I've never investigated there before. And then, on May 1st, I'll be at Old Parks Hotel, which is also in Texas. And May 21st through the 22nd, I'll be in Mount Joy, PA, and doing an investigation there, too, at Booze Brewery. And, I'm looking forward because I've never investigated these three locations. So, just getting in there, getting to meet the people who are coming to these events, the locals and everything. And I've been doing these events for quite a while now, for a couple of years now, and it's always fun because you're always meeting different people, but it's fun to watch because you have this kind of like this little circuit of fans who actually travel around and they'll travel to these different events, and you see the same people there as well. So it's fun to watch. It's fun to get out there and investigate with the people and just have a great time, man.
Well, we definitely want our audience to be able to connect with you. So, Daryl, where's the best place for them to go? I mentioned Instagram. Is that the best, or let them know where to find you?
Yeah, I'm a big Instagram guy, to be honest with you, because it kind of stays away from the politics and the negativity. But I'm on all the different platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. If you just look up Daryl Marston, I pop right up, and you just go on there and you can follow me. Send me messages. I try to answer everybody's questions, and I'm very open to that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Daryl, really appreciate you dropping by. Glad that things are in a place where you can be able to get out there and meet with the fans, and I know that they're excited about the opportunity to be able to meet you as well. For our audience joining us via the podcast, we'll be linking up Daryl's Instagram there to make it easy for you guys to be able to find him. And, Daryl, it goes without saying, you're welcome back here anytime. Looking forward to having you back again.
Well, I appreciate it, and I'll definitely be back. Just invite me, and I'll show up, man.
I appreciate that, Daryl. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.